Hello all and welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. I got my buddy here, Adrian Gonzalez, brother from another mother. We grew up together, known each other basically all of our lives, right?
Yeah, pretty much for the most part. Actually, pretty much the entire time.
And I'm thankful for him to do this video with me. He's the second person I'm interviewing with, and actually we're just kind of going to do something different for a change. Just something a little bit goofy. So anyways, we're going to ask him a series of questions. His name is Adrian Gonzalez. This will be about 11 questions, and we're going to talk about the good old douchebags of the Washington D.C. metropolitan, Maryland, and Northern Virginia area, as everybody calls it, the DMV. So first of all, how you doing today, Adrian?
I'm doing all right. A little tired, but you know what? I'll make it.
There you go. That's what men do, right?
That's what we do. Man up, grab it and growl.
So first question is, how long have you lived in the DMV?
Like 29 years.
Wow. Life does go by, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Now I feel old.
I've been here for about 30 years now, so, life, time flies, and still can't wait to get to the West Coast, and that's definitely around the corner. All right, and what is the thing that you like the most about the DMV area?
I'm going to say probably the diversity.
Okay.
Different cultures and, different, walks of life all merging into one area.
Exactly.
Unlike specific areas like, for say, like Oklahoma, where it's just, white central and very narrow-minded individuals, but just the diversity in general.
Okay, I like that, and that's one thing I love about this area. That's one thing I love about Southern California at the same time. And what is the thing that you dislike the most about the DMV?
How people seem to be so uptight. I don't understand. It's like, between like, it's like all about like your social status. You got to have the flashy cars. Like there's no humility. There's no, I don't know. It's like some people, like a lot of people out here are probably, they come from the military. So they get stuck in this military mind frame, which, for whatever reason, they can't trust announce. There's nothing wrong with that. But,
Right.
They have to come back to civilian life and, realize that, everything's not ran like the military,
Right.
just calm the hell down, just, it is what it is. But, just,
'Cause we thank you for your service at the end of the day.
yes, we do. I do appreciate, you going out there, fighting the good fight for our country. It's you guys make our freedom possible.
Absolutely.
But-
Absolutely. Anything else?
How about the women around here? I don't understand. It's like you try to go on, like, you try to talk to the women out here, and it's like, God, they want your credit score. They want how much money you make. I was like, goodness gracious. I was like, man, I gotta start, popping out my credentials. I'm like, I don't feel like dealing with that. I was like, I don't know.
And he's right. He's not lying. Trust me.
Just relax, people. Just relax. It's not that serious. Let it flow. Let it flow.
I couldn't agree with you more. That's why I've always dated women that are not from here, because sometimes they just have a little bit of a special personality. All right, and
A little special. You say so.
Exactly. All right, what would you say is the biggest reason why there are so many douchebags within the DMV area?
I think, it's a good thing, it's a bad thing, but, I think it's because of the massive federal government presence and a lot of military. Mm-hmm. It's like I said prior, it's like the military mind frame doesn't really leave, and it kind of, even if your children are in the military, you kind of pick up on that. So it kind of seeps into their personalities and such. That's just my opinion. It's just all about social status. Oh, I'm a GS50. I'm like, I don't even know what the hell that is, but I'm like, okay. It's like, you want me to salute you or some shit? I don't know what the hell, but okay, fine. That's just me. It's like, okay, whatever. Oh, I'm a CEO. I'm like, of what? I'm like, all right, well, whatever. I'm a blah, blah, blah. It's like some fancy title. I'm like, well, congratulations. Congratulations. Just chill, people. Just chill. Mellow.
I couldn't agree with him more on that. Mm-hmm. It's like, one thing, it's not like it's cheap to live in this area, one. So even if you do make $150,000 a year, you're still considered middle class. You know why? Because the cost of living, and most times if you have that kind of salary, you're probably going to have overpriced cars and overpriced home, or overpriced homes, so therefore you're still in debt, like somebody making $25,000 a year.
And might I add to that, that was also the reason why this area was hit so hard by the housing, about when the economic collapse, because people have a tendency around here to live outside of their means.
Bingo.
And a lot of like contracts, the federal government had to cut, and then so the counties had to cut. So a lot of people with these big fancy homes that thought that stuff was going to go away, and guess what? You have to live within your means. And people out here, for whatever reason, they have trouble with that. It's all about the flashy lifestyle. But there's more than that, live within your means, people.
Exactly, because your bank account should look better than your home. your investment should look better than your home.
You get a slow push for that one.
But that's just my opinion, But so, hey, it is what it is. I mean, hey, debt is good for the economy, right?
Yeah, it is.
Boom and bust society.
Ask your boy DT. He's the king of that.
Crazy. Let's see. What is the best advice you would want to provide to anyone that is going to move to the DMV in the future?
That's a good question.
Somebody moving from small town America.
I would try to keep an open mind to the fact that the people that come from like smaller towns, like where I lived at for 3 years, give or take. You have a tendency to get into, pigeonhole yourself into one ideology. Maintain an open mind, because believe it or not, there's more to this world than what's in your property line. Just keep an open mind frame that people are going to be different from you. And just learn to accept that. Just because their thinking is different doesn't mean that they're wrong. It's
Exactly.
just, you have to just always understand that. Just keep an open mind. That's just my opinion. And don't become a tight ass like some of these people around here, because your pay rate goes up. You become a GS 100. I don't know, or step 6 or whatever the hell it is.
And that's why I call the DMV area uptight country, because you just have a lot of uptight people.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And where would you say is the most douchebags come from, since there are so many people from all over the place that move here from in the DMV? Because obviously it's a melting pot here, and so many people come from all over. So where would you say that they come from the most?
I feel like from the more rural areas, from
Any specific state in mind?
I mean, I don't know. It just seems like the people from the more, the South Carolinas, the more southern the state, I see they have a little more issue, I guess, assimilating into this, melting pot of the DMV. So they kind of try to keep their own mind frame, and it hampers them with it. And it's also kind of hard to get along with these people, because like I said, when it's just how they were raised, sometimes you can't blame, but sometimes you can, because it's like, you have full control of how you conduct yourself. It's just, you kind of put yourself in that own situation.
I couldn't agree with you more on that one, because the world is so much bigger than the place that you grew up in. I mean, Americans need to start looking at the world like kind of in a sense how immigrants look at the world. If they had the audacity to come across major oceans to start a new life and look at the world from different perspectives, we can do that all at the same time. The world is bigger than your backyard. And matter of fact, they say more and more Americans need to go to foreign countries. So not only can we appreciate the freedom that we have, but we can also appreciate other cultures all at the same time.
I agree with you 100% on that. I really feel that Americans really should try to diversify themselves and really look at other countries. And instead of always, for whatever reason around here, you like to shame other countries. They're doing this, but it's like you need to really open up your mind. There is a whole lot more out there, people.
There is. The world is so much bigger than your backyard. And I don't care if you live in Mississippi or California or Virginia. The world is so much bigger than your little small backyard. But if you want to keep it closed-minded, you're going to be left behind, because at the end of the day, doesn't matter who the president is, doesn't matter who runs the government, the world is a changing beast. It changes just as fast as technology does, and you can love it or hate it. All right, so with the cost of living going up in the DMV, like in most populated areas like this, what do you think that will you think the Metro line will ever be extended to Prince William County, Virginia, or do you think that Virginia Railway Express, the VRE, will be extended to run during the weekend?
I feel like eventually, that the Metro will be extended, but it's just, the one issue with the Metro is good, but it's also bad.
Right.
I can say, for me, because I work in Tyson's Corner.
It sucks, yeah.
Yeah, so basically what ends up happening is, you do get, more access to the areas like friendly, but the problem is, what happens is you do have increased crime. Because for whatever reason, these people from, specific areas like to jump on the Metro, go to these other areas, and then go and create problems, hop back on the Metro and go back to where they came from. It's just a fact, but it's a blessing and a curse. But me personally, I would like to see the Metro. I believe that more public transportation would benefit this country substantially. And VRE is good, but like I said, it's just it needs to be more like Metro. It needs to be more fast paced, because in the area where I live, which is Woodbridge, it's very densely populated. I really don't feel like the BRE could really handle that kind of volume. And the roads are already already overflowing. So I think we really do need Metro, and I really hope, and I probably can see within the next maybe 6 to 10 years, possibly the Metro being extended to at least hopefully going to at least Belvoir or even Godfrey, hopefully Quantico, to link the bases. I feel that would be very beneficial for the area, but we'll see.
I couldn't agree with you more. I won't be here to see it, but hey, you never know. Do you think that the EZPass lanes have helped out with the traffic in the DMV?
I think it helps the people that can actually afford to do it.
Gotcha.
I mean, it does take some volume off.
Right.
But at the same time too, it's, I don't know, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, but I guess it's also a moneymaker for the state. Because I mean, with like, them talking about trying to cut taxes, the gas tax and stuff like that, they need to have an alternative income, because I don't know if you've seen the roads out here, but they're not that great. They need to fix them and, all kinds of stuff like that. So they need more revenue.
Agreed. Agreed. Last question, what improvements would you like to see made to the DMV area if you could just wave your magic wand like that?
Remove these uptight fucking people, man. I just can't understand like some of these narrow-minded individuals. It ceases to amaze me.
It's a culture.
Yeah, it's really bad. I mean, I really wish I could change that. And just like the area like where I live in, it's a funny area. It's a mix between, the suburb, and then you got different kind of people. You got the people that, for whatever reason, they want to go hard, and so they'll try their best to try to prove themselves. Oh, I'm from Woodbridge, so I gotta be tougher. Oh, there's a guy from D.C, so I gotta puff my chest up. It's like, can we all ignorance, ignorance is bliss. Just let's get rid of that mentality and just be more open minded. Let's be more chill, be more relaxed. Just calm down, people. Just chill.
Yeah, and the funny thing when you mentioned that, because every area has their douchebag complex. But I noticed, like, when you go to the Midwest, you go to the South, you go to the West Coast, it's so much more mellow, and it always boggles my mind to be, if you're around people that supposedly makes less money, they don't make the six-figure salaries, they appear to be a lot more happier than the people here. And maybe it's because they don't work for the government. I don't know. But there's something about this area. Like in New York, they have their Wall Street douchebags. And in California, LA, they have their Hollywood douchebags. But at least within New York and Hollywood, I can say one thing. They're actually rich. So I give them credit to be those kind of douchebags. They don't have to work if they don't want to. They work because they want to, because they already making millions and billions of dollars. The douchebags here make six-figure salaries, and they swear up and down that they are the best thing that happened since sliced bread or since the second coming of Jesus Christ. I don't know, but all I can say is it makes me laugh. At the end of the day, if you find yourself in this category, you are working class, you're middle class. You get up, you go to work, you sit on major highways like the rest of us, and you pay your bills every day. You're not special. Sorry.
And one thing I may add, just what I was kind of touching on, what I was talking about earlier. You see, I like to have, nice places where we can go and you can drink and relax. The problem with people in Woodbridge is, it's like, I want to have nice things. Stop freaking causing fights trying to prove yourself. You have nothing to prove, okay? Just relax. If you got to have an armed security guard at Denny's because you like to go get drunk from the club and you want to go start a fight in freaking Denny's, then there's a problem. Come on, people, relax. It's not that serious. I mean, seriously.
And that's that's the sad thing is the thing I'm looking forward to when I move to Riverside, California. It's like Woodbridge, except it's a beautiful desert. But the second thing is they have their town centers just like Woodbridge, but the difference is they have more places for somebody like me to, if I just want to go have a drink and be in a fun atmosphere, I can go. If I want nightlife, I can go. I don't have to go to the city and pay for overpriced drinks and an overpriced cover charge to get into a decent nightclub or go see a decent show. I can do it in my backyard. And that's the one thing I've always said that Prince William County is lacking. And even when we do have it, they end up taking it away because
knuckleheads.
Exactly.
Because people don't know how to act.
Exactly.
We cannot have nice things for very long here in Woodbridge. Or it seems like, I don't know, it just in general. You can't have nice things out here.
So everything's just catered to the people that are boring, dull, and predictable and uptight. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree with you 100%.
Well, Adrian, appreciate it, sir.
No problem.
My brother from another mother. This has been Larry's Anything Goes, and I'm sure we'll have future interviews even when I get to the West Coast. So take it easy. Hope you guys like the video. Hit the like button, subscribe, and please share if you like the video.
Deuces.
Take care.